Anyone who can tell me what client trust means over here? Anyone, guys? See, you put a AI voice which tells the client, please buy a particular product. It's very nice. And there is a human who is explaining you each and everything. Who would you trust? Human, right? So that's where things come into picture. I am just giving you a very small example over here. You see, tools like ChatGPT can generate scripts, handle enterprise politics. I'll give you a proper example for this. Manage NASDAQ level migration. In simple terms, when you are migrating something from one place to another, ChatGPT can tell you, Gemini can tell you the steps. So what does that mean? If you don't know the tool, what will you do? Getting my point or no? Okay, let me explain you in a better term. As an MBA, what are your specializations? All are from marketing? Okay. Now, let's say you ask something from ChatGPT that I want to market something. It gives you the steps. But if you have not learned marketing, which is your core tool, will you be able to do it? Yes or no? Okay, tell me one thing which you learn in marketing. How to face clients, maybe? Yeah. So, if you don't learn your core tool, let's say I'm not from a marketing background, I ask ChatGPT, I want to sell this, and it says go ahead and present these 10 things to the client. My next question would be, how will I face the client? You guys have already learned it, so your core skill still is intact. AI is just helping you. And that's where your innovation comes into picture. Right? So skills, which I do, and then transformation. Okay, let me give you a very good example. This is from my thing only. I did a migration for a particular company. Okay. This was in Australia. The project went on for almost 6 to 7 months. Okay. I completed the project within 10 days, the actual work. Rest of the time, I was doing meetings with different teams because each and every team had a different requirement. You understand what does that mean? तुम चार दोस्त हो, चारों को वेकेशन पे जाना है, एक को कश्मीर जाना है, एक को स्विट्जरलैंड जाना है, एक को कहीं जाना है. That's where one person will come and make you come together कि यहाँ चलते हैं. And what are the benefits? हो सकता है पैसे कम हो. Understood? So, security team, they want their controls. Finance, always want lower costs. Management, jaldi jaldi karo. So, AI can write deployment scripts, suggest architecture, generate documentation. They cannot go ahead and convince a particular person. You guys convince your dads and moms ना कि मेरे को ये लेके दे दो. आज नहीं तो पहले किया होगा. एआई टूल को लगा देते ना कन्विंस करने के लिए. होते. Guys, I can't hear you. Guys, कन्विंस करते थे अपने माँ बाप को. तो बोलो ना यार. हाँ. See, I'll tell you what I entered into the IT part in 1998. Okay. If I would have not evolved, or if I would have not learned and upgraded myself or updated myself from time to time, मैं आज यहाँ नहीं खड़ा होता. Correct? You know the story of BlackBerry, Nokia. Yes, they failed because if you focus on basic technical tasks, AI will replace you. But if you develop system thinking, leadership, business understanding, communication, I'll tell you one very good example. So my company went ahead and did a drive for a particular another company. We picked up some students, all technical roles. They were supposed to pick up around 15 people. And end of the day, we got that 18 people will be picked up. They had 15 people, but 3 extra were there. Why? Because they wanted to put those 3 people facing the customer. That is the front end part. They might not be good at the technical skills, but they were very good with the communication part. And every company, they need someone who can face the clients. So you have to keep upgrading. So specifically for you guys, there are 3 things which you should work on. One is business. In today's time, you cannot run away. Whatever you are doing, you cannot run away from technology. See, earlier, your technology was related to only using a laptop. Excel, Word, PowerPoint, right? These were technical skills only, correct? Now you have to upgrade yourself to understand how AI can help you out. It's in fact easier than learning Excel and Word and PowerPoint, believe me. Okay, and then leadership skills. This combination can create AI resistant careers. Now, what does business strategy? What market we should enter? How do we beat competitors? Where build? This cannot happen sitting in minutes. So you used AI tool, and your input was just to change it according to what were the requirements of the college. 10 minutes, right? Is that correct? Whether it should be done in 10 minutes? Yes or no? Then how much time you should spend on that assignment? अगर कॉलेज को यही करवाना है तो फिर असाइनमेंट वो घर भेज दिया करेंगे, 10 मिनट्स में बना के भेज दो, डन. Okay. So you go ahead and assignment to the college, right? And if now college asks you questions, what do you do? Ask the questions also to. तो फिर खुद से क्या करते हो? प्रॉम्प्ट. प्रॉम्प्ट सही दे देते हो फर्स्ट टाइम, कि वो भी दो चार बार के बाद ठीक आता है? So guys, let me tell you one thing. Use AI. अगर सब कुछ एआई बताएगा तो डेफिनेटली यू वुड बी इन दैट कैटेगरी हु वुड बी रिप्लेस्ड. Will a company pay you to generating things from AI? Getting my point? आज नहीं चेंज करोगे, कब करोगे? जब जॉब चला जाएगा. आई नो, मैं कितना भी बोलूं तुम लोग वही करोगे जो करना होगा. Right? So you don't need to become programmers. You just need to understand technology. Engineers build AI systems. Doctors use it. You plan it. I'm talking about the MBA guys. If you are into that particular category. And finally, monitors in your class. I'm talking about your school days. And how many of you are right? How many of you are there? Okay, let me ask you in a different way. Whenever there is some competition going on, there must be groups which must be created. How many of you yourself go ahead and say, I would lead this? help earlier. Like right now, all the students need help to build your skills with AI, correct? Again, this is exactly the same different issues, right? Your faculty will have that AI might judge their quality. IT department, they will have to go ahead and develop these particular skills. Finance is always low money. Plus, university or the leadership will say, go ahead and implement it as soon as possible and start giving me higher returns. What AI can do, they can analyze, predict, generate analytics reports, suggest learning improvements. They cannot convince professors to trust and manage. Personal brand. How will you make a personal brand? What? Yeah, so how will they make their own personal brand? How? You are a student. यूट्यूब पे जाके वीडियोस नहीं बनाने, इंस्टा पे भी वीडियोस नहीं बनाने हैं, और अगर बनाने हैं तो स्पेसिफिक बनाने हैं. ओके. Aware of these particular things, skill means your expertise, productivity multiplier. I want you to read this. Okay, productivity multiplier. You guys said assignment, जिसमें तुमको मे बी हफ्ता 10 दिन लगाना था, वो तुमने 10 मिनट में एआई पे डाला. अनदर 10 मिनट्स यू रेक्टिफाइड इट. 10 दिन का काम, हफ्ते का काम 20 मिनट. If you understand this, the other person also understands this. So let me tell you where I'm coming from. Your college might not say anything. They might just go ahead and accept it. But once you go ahead and sit in front of the interviewer and you talk about this was the assignment, he will catch you then and there, and you will be. He will, like you answered, right? 10 minutes I spent. So use AI. You can be faster. भाई इतना भी फास्ट नहीं करो कि 10 दिन हफ्ते भर का काम 10-20 मिनट में कर लो. Okay. This is where your personal brand comes into picture. I want you to just note this. There are two students. One is a quiet, unknown student. The other one writes about AI in healthcare on LinkedIn and present case studies. Real world, ये दोनों बंदे गए इंटरव्यू के लिए. You tell me whom will I pick? दोनों को AI आता है. Guys, read and tell me. Read the last. There are two people, right? Person one, person two. Whom will I hire? Why? Okay. You guys will go ahead. Me also, I'll give you some ideas. If not today, tomorrow it will help you out. Right? So simple takeaway. A skill gives you capability. Your skill is not going anywhere. It gives you speed and productivity, the AI, and visibility and opportunity once you create your personal brand. Right, guys? So make your AI your companion and to multiply tasks. Thank you. I guess I'm well within time. I hope you guys were not sleeping. Okay. Can I quickly tell you a very interesting story? Rather incident which happened with me. A very quick one. So I was doing a training for Accenture guys. Okay. And normally we do training with 20 people, but for some reason there were more people. So let's say 30 people. So even the walking alley in between, it was filled with chairs. It was a 5 days training, and I'm talking about these are senior guys, not students or anyone. So I started the training first day. Typically after lunch, I try to keep that people do some laps so that they are not sleepy. So at 2 o'clock, I come, I start my lecture. For some reason, I had to take lectures those days because theory was a lot. So I started with my theoretical part. At 2:05, I could hear someone snoring. Karate, right? And I could see, I could feel that someone is right in front of me from where I can hear that snoring. Within 5 minutes, by 2:10, it stopped. Okay, let it go. Second day, exact within 2-3 minutes, the snoring started. This time I couldn't control myself. I asked, guys, can you hear the snoring part? Do you guys know? And they pointed out someone in middle. This guy was right in front of me and he was sitting like this and snoring. So he had a habit of keeping his eyes open and snore. अगर वो अपने snore पे control कर लेता, no one was able to catch him. Why I told you this was because sometimes you come across such people जो सामने बैठा हो and he's looking at me. So when I hear the snoring, I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. Okay, he's not the guy. Someone else. Someone else. Okay, guys, that's
Thanks,
it.
thanks, Pradeep sir. Can we give him a round of applause? You guys are extraordinarily good in your personal branding. I don't know why you guys are not speaking up here. Um, I receive invariably in a day at least 6 to 7 new LinkedIn posts. I think you are smart enough in doing it, and you have smart industry guys here to enlighten you. Open up, speak up, so that the session will be lively. Sir, can we have you on the stage so that can we have you? You got it, sir. You got the number. So can I have the volunteer? Can I request Dr. Bole to Dr. Bole, can you come down to felicitate our guest? Sanjay Bole, sir, please be on the stage. Yeah. Can we give them a round of applause, guys? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pradeep sir and Bale sir, Dr. Bale. So you're going to have a very interesting panel discussion, guys. Hello, can we have attention? Buddies, I'm looking at you. So we'll give little time for you guys to get it, settle it down. Morning, there was a panelist talking about data, and data, social listening, big data, how to convert data into a meaningful interpretation. How do we read data? No more marketing is top bottom. I decide what you deserve. No, you have to present what they deserve, what the customers deserve. Bottom up, correct? So that's what is going to be the next. I'll take a little time. If it is ready, guys, you give a thumbs up so that. Yes, madam. Are we done? Okay, the panel discussion is about AI as a revenue multiplier. Of course, we agree. From data to decisive action, how data helps in the AI era to take decisions smartly. To have this panel discussion, we have a bunch of panelists from the industry. I invite the moderator, Mr. Swapnil. Can we give a round of applause? Founder and CEO, Make My Hype. Can I invite, please forgive me if my pronunciation goes a little haywire. Mithil. Can we give a round of applause to Mithil, founder? Sir, can you pronounce the name of the company? You can say Alchemy Network. Alchemy Network is the founder of Alchemy Network. Mr. Vikram Gaikwad, founder, CEO, Squeakers Infotech. Guys, give a round of applause. Mr. Mangwesh Borka, Head of Engineering, Red Drop. Shamal Vaidya, Managing Director, Simulcast IT Solutions Private Limited. And Sri Karve, Chief of Growth Solutions, Triumph Ventures. Karthik Chandrakant, Senior Vice President, Head of Data Science and AI. Over to Swapnil and company.
Thank you so much, sir, for introducing ourselves. Let me introduce myself and let me set the context of this panel discussion. My name is Swapnil Puranik and I'm running two verticals, one in EdTech sector and one is in branding and marketing. So I have total experience of 22 years in marketing. So the topic of today's panel discussion is AI is a revenue multiplier from data to decisive action. And for me, so this is not an academic question. This is a very practical question that me face in day-to-day life, and I'm sure that all the people here on this dais, they are facing the same question, and every businessman in India or across the globe, they are facing same questions. AI as a revenue multiplier from data to decisive action. So let me start with two numbers. $350 billion. That is what the world invested in AI last year in 2025. $350 billion. And in coming years, world is going to invest more and more in AI. But the reality is only 10% companies or 10% of organizations reporting significant measurable ROI from that investment. So today in this discussion, we will be discussing the whole gambit of these things, like AI as a revenue multiplier. So we will be checking the reality of this topic. Is AI really a revenue multiplier? And what is the fact? Then there is data, the problem with data. There are so many aspects around data, like data inconsistency, data cleaning, data protection, data privacy. And in last, there is a problem with decision making. So we say that AI has made things faster, but many a times we can see there is a problem with decision making. What we can say is analysis paralysis. So let's start with all these vibrant entrepreneurs and leaders in the industry today. So let me ask the first question to Mr. Vikram Gaikwad, founder and CEO of Sequus Infotech. Vikram, you have seen AI investment decisions both from the builder side and the boardroom side. In your honest assessment, is AI actually a revenue multiplier, or it is just a glorified automation?
That's really a good question, I would say, the way you framed it. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. So this is a question that comes up at several instances. AI is definitely contributing, but not the way the organizations are expecting it. I would say early days when it started, it was taken in the sense of automation only. Okay, the mundane tasks, how they have been automated. A lot of people started using AI for that. A lot of support related stuff, AI has been used in the initial durations. So the way it started, was not actually in the sense of revenue multiplier. Okay, because I would say that majority of the investments of AI happens in the automation, which was relating towards the productivity of the organizations. Okay, when I say the real usage of AI from a revenue multiplication standpoint is like 2/3 of the revenue for any organization come from the existing customers. Okay, if we neglect existing customers and leveraging AI for that, then we are making a big mistake. So in that context, I would say that if you use AI to handle your existing customers' revenues and how to multiply them with upsell, cross-sell, and maybe retaining the existing customers, then you are winning that particular game. So instead of investing, majority of the investment in any organizations are happening in either in the productivity side or in the sales revenue generation side, but not in the customer success side.
Okay.
So if that happens, I would say that that's a winning combination, especially in the context of revenue multiplication.
Okay, that was nice. And my next question will be to Mr. Karthik Chandrakant, VP Head of Data Science and AI. When we are talking about ROI, we are talking about the companies who are investing heavily in AI infrastructure. So can you share an instance where AI has been a revenue multiplier in your organization?
Yeah. Firstly, thank you so much for having me here. I know it's second session after lunch, but I'll try to keep it very, very short as well. So I think to answer that question, I'll add to more of what you said, right? Which is today, companies are using AI from of course, a revenue multiplier is I would say the one way to look at it, or the username, I would say. But the password could also be, like he said, right? Cost optimization or headcount reduction or operations efficiency They're different instances. I'll give you two instances through which, I've been an AI practitioner for the last 13, 14 years, and I've seen this from close quarters. I'll give you two instances very quickly. One, I spent about half a decade with Amazon. And how many of you here have seen Amazon prices change quickly, dynamically? Raise of hands. Okay. The team behind that was led by me, building machine learning models. And any prices that was wrong had to be caught. Okay. And Amazon had thousands of people looking for a bad prices, right? And people would literally sit and map price A on Flipkart is $20. Price the same product on Amazon is $22, right? That's a price mismatch. So there were thousands of people deployed by Amazon to sit manually, look at 600 to 700 odd on a daily basis and do that. And we would call this as an operations floor, right? Now, the team behind the scenes would build a machine learning model, which would, in a particular day, if they were supposed to look at 25,000 odd by a particular team, this building AI, we were only supposed to, bring it down to, you didn't have to look at 25,000 odd. You just had to look at the top 2,500 only. So AI eliminated the 90% and told this doesn't have an error. The top 10%, which AI was a little confused, or in those days, we never used the word of hallucination, but the accuracy was lower. So there people were deployed, which meant 90% of human force was not needed. Perhaps they were not removed from the job. They were allowed to do complex tasks, but we removed people from a particular thing, right? And that translates into thousands of dollars. So that's not direct revenue as such, but that's cost savings, or that's operational floor efficiency, right? That's one. The second thing, I currently lead a large practice in Imarticus, which is an edtech company. We're in the business of upskilling. Today, we try and help learners get better and get them into an employability setup, right? In order to do that, we need to go the extra mile of teaching, the extra mile of doing mock interviews. And we operate in a space where thousands of learners are being taught today. They need to do a one-on-one mock, and this comes at a cost. So we built an AI-based solution, which is an AI-based mock interviewer. And you'll be surprised to hear the cost that was incurred is reduced by 98% through AI, right? Now, this, if I were to do math, the profitability of spending that is in crores. Every year, we are saving a few crores because of this, right? So this is how I would look at it in terms of, it's not necessarily direct revenue generation. Of course, there are companies today using that where I don't know how many of you have heard, like for example, Cars 24 or even Misho. They don't no longer deploy humans to do that. It's AI agents, right? Which comes at dirt cheap cost. So this is the way it's moving, and not necessarily direct multiplier, but indirect revenue savings or cost savings, efficiency, like you mentioned, operational efficiency. There's so many use cases like this through which money is going back to the company and hence becoming more profitable.
So it was a great insight that it is not direct connection, like it will contribute to a revenue multiplier, but even if it saves cost, it is also a big deal. So my next question is for Mangesh Borkar, Head of Engineering at Red Drop. So you did something different that most of the engineering teams are not able to do. So you have achieved a revenue figure in your organization. So just walk us through that process. How did you achieve that revenue multiplier in your organization?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. I work with Red Drop as the head of engineering. So the primary platform that we were building was a sales prospecting platform for B2B. So if you go and see Red Drop B2B platform, what you will notice is a complex set of filters on the left-hand side by which you can search for anybody who is available on LinkedIn, right? So it's like a LinkedIn, but with additional features where you can also find out the phone number and email ID of a person, and you can directly get in touch with that person, right? So this is what the core functionality is of the platform. Now with AI, one the thing we used AI for is basically a person doesn't have to go and fill out all the filters. So if I want to search somebody in Pune who is heading an AI company, I need to choose Pune and I need to say AI and I need to say what is the designation and blah, 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 so many types of filters. So now what we did was using AI, a person can just type what he needs. So I can say, find me AI decision makers in Pune, and the AI does everything behind the hood. All the heavy lifting is done by the AI tools that we have. And it's a complex set of context engineering, which is built behind the hood. So what happens due to this? It is basically, as I think Vikram mentioned, it is all about the customer, right? So the kind of premium customers we wanted to target were the ones who loved this functionality. So, if you go and check a lot of these platforms like Juicebox, Lucia, right? A lot of them have these features. So Redrop was building this to match these competitors that we have. So this is one of the things how AI helped us, to build the ARR for the company. But the most important thing which I want to say here, it's not just the AI model or the fine tuning of your AI models or fine tuning your AI ecosystem, right? The most important thing that I have noticed is, how good your engineering systems are, how good your infrastructure is. Because if you don't have this in place, your AI has no value. If your infra teams are doing firefighting every day to keep the systems alive, nobody will love to use your AI features. So it's the fundamentals which always work in your favor. So, the uptime of the system, the latency metrics, how good or consistent your system is, how good the throughput is, all these systems work in conjunction with AI. So, when I see these questions regarding AI, I think the associated systems are equally important than the actual AI models or the context engineering that you build for the AI tools in your system. So I think that answers your question, Swapnil.
And thank you, Mangesh, for pointing out most important aspect in business and sales. Understanding customers' requirements is most important. So maybe you are having great engineering teams and great infrastructure. If you don't understand, so that's a nice input for all of us. My next question will be to Mithil Dave, the founder of the Alchemy Network. Mithil, AI promised all of us to multiply revenue by reducing human effort, but has it also created more roles, more complexity, and more cost than anyone anticipated? Means taking cue from the answers of both these people. So they are talking about cost cutting, but sometimes it is observed that cost escalation is also there because of AI. So is AI the actual revenue multiplier, or it is quietly also a cost multiplier?
In my case, what I have experienced is that AI can definitely be a revenue multiplier, but only if it helps businesses to take better decisions, not merely focusing on productivity. Because nowadays, a lot of companies are with AI, they are creating a lot of more content, dashboards, and reports. So does it mean that more output equals to more revenue? Right? Let me give you an example here. I met a founder who was creating ads for a particular SaaS model, and he, by using AI, created 1,000 ads. But when it ran, was not able to generate any leads. Why? Because they were not able to understand, the AI and themselves were not able to understand that this SaaS was connecting to which target audience. So they were not understanding the target audience. And that's where, if AI is able to help these businesses get better target audience, their patterns, their behaviors, that's when it helps in creating revenue. And that's where it becomes more profit multiplier. So please remember that AI is not a revenue multiplier. Better decisions are.
Right, rightly said. That you are saying that context is also very important.
Absolutely.
If you are right at the context that you are providing, then it will give you better outputs. My next question will be to Shamal Vaidya, Managing Director of Simulcast IT Solutions. Shamal, India has over 63 million MSMEs. So students may be aware that MSMEs are backbone of our Indian economy. So my question will be, AI actually within the reach of this MSME, or it is only the reach of the large corporations or MNCs?
Yes, thank you so much, Swapnil. It's a good question because so many students are there. Maybe after some time they are a business or they are entrepreneurs actually. So MSME is most important for our economy actually. But do you think AI के बारे में कहाँ बातें होती है? AI के बारे में मोस्ट ऑफ द जो भी बातें होती है वो सारी बड़ी बड़ी ऑफिसेस में होती है. कभी ये सोचा है हम लोगों ने कि ये सारी जो बातें कोई शॉप में हो रही है, छोटी मोटी शॉप्स में इसके बारे में डिस्कशंस होते हैं. सो AI यही तक सीमित है, जो बड़े बड़े इंडस्ट्रीज है, जो बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज है वही तक सीमित है. सो आई थॉट कि AI डायरेक्टली हम लोग ये सब बोल तो नहीं सकते कि डायरेक्टली AI को हम लोग कोई भी कंपनी के जंप टू द AI डायरेक्टली. So which is not possible right now actually. They have to go step by step. So nowadays some company are actually going from manual process to the digital process in a simple way. There is some game changing thought process in that. So many people are working on a CRM. So many people are using chatbots. So many people are using ERP. So जो भी AI के बेनिफिट्स है वो वहां से वो लोग ले रहे हैं, उसके बारे में सोच रहे. सो अगर MSME में जो भी छोटे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स है या फिर स्मॉल इंडस्ट्रीज है, if they want to adopt the AI in better way in the businesses, so AI ये deploy करने में easy है. It's not a big deal. Digitalization is more important for apart for the AI actually. So AI के बारे में हम जब भी काम करते हैं, AI अगर डिप्लॉय करना चाहते हैं, so we have to think the process, we have to think localize. जैसे कि हम लोग डेली रूटीन में मोबाइल यूज करते हैं, सो इसी तरीके से अगर हम लोग ने AI अडॉप्ट कर लिया तो आई डोंट थिंक सो कि MSME कंपनीज जो ऑलरेडी हमारा बैकबोन है इकोनॉमी के लिए, इफ दे यूज AI, सो मुझे लगता है कि इकोनॉमी कंप्लीटली चलाने के लिए MSME विल सक्सेसफुल फॉर दिस.
राइट, बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट आपने रेज किया कि धीरे धीरे अभी MSMEs डिजिटलाइजेशन की ओर जा रहे हैं. दे आर अडॉप्टिंग डिजिटलाइजेशन. एंड अगेन देयर इज अ गुड थिंग अबाउट AI कि इट इज मोर डेमोक्रेटिक. So it is easier for MSMEs to adopt AI and make it happen in their day-to-day business. My next question will be to Shri Karve, the tele ICU practitioner and a critical care innovator. So you operate in a domain where revenue models are complex, margins are tight, and the cost of failure is a human life. So yet you have developed an AI model at scale in the critical healthcare sector. So how did you make it possible? And what are the lessons for other industries?
Okay. Hi. Thanks for this wonderful question and thanks for having me. A little bit context on what we do. So we are a healthcare technology company, and about 8 years ago, we started installing what looks like CCTV cameras inside hospitals. The goal there was, and probably a lot of you might be familiar with this scenario. So if you travel 15-20 kilometers away from a city, the hospitals there, the quality of healthcare suddenly drops, not because the motivation is not there. Probably, great doctors don't want to work in the remote areas, or maybe the nurses out there don't have those sort of skill levels. So we wanted to bring healthcare in, various remote parts of India up to the mark. That's why we installed, like more than 500 hospitals currently have our so-called, CCTV cameras, from where a team of about 100 doctors and nurses sitting in Bangalore are remotely monitoring these patients, and timely care can be communicated to the bedside team. This is basically our model. There is no AI so far in picture. This was just cameras. And then we realized that we are sitting on a massive gold mine of data where, real live bedside footage is available. And that's where we spent about past 3 years training our model to see if the model can not replace, I would say, but at least try to augment the abilities of doctors and nurses who are serving by the bedside. Now, in terms of coming to revenue, we had not expected, but hospitals started adopting our AI. They knew our AI wasn't perfect, but they were ready to pay for that because we were able to solve a real problem. At night, when maybe, doctors, nurses can be a little bit drowsy, maybe when doctors, nurses are on leave, the person who is there on duty is overloaded, which happens, more often than one would imagine. That's where our AI was able to provide them insights. One real example, say for example, neonatal, like, small babies, really tiny, this size babies, when they have some health issues, they are placed in what we call like a, neonatal ICU case, like, and only after several minutes of enduring pain, that's when the baby starts crying out, and that's when the nurse comes in and steps in. Whereas the camera is continuously monitoring the patient, and several minutes before a nurse would even notice, the camera notices signs that the baby is in pain. So this is really solving a problem for the hospital in terms of elevating the quality of care. Now, once the quality of care is improved, then the chances of the patient getting discharged and complications not happening, hospital acquired infections not happening, all of this gets, those are some of the benefits. So the patient gets discharged more. Now I'm coming to the business side. If the patient gets discharged, you can admit more patients. More the patients, more the revenue. So that's how our AI is able to add to the revenue side of hospitals.
Thank you so much, Shri. So we have concluded the first round of discussion, and let me summarize what we have discussed till now. So our question was AI as a revenue multiplier. So we examined that statement. Is it reality? क्या सच में AI revenue को multiply कर सकता है? So after listening to all these experts, so these are the living examples in front of you that they have made it reality. They have converted AI investment into a sizable amount of ROI. So it is there, but AI कोई जादू की छड़ी नहीं है कि आप उसको घुमा दो और उसमें आपको रेवेन्यू आना शुरू हो जाएगा. So be it infrastructure, strong infrastructure, strong engineering teams, and most importantly, identifying the need of the customer. That is most important. If you follow these basic principles, AI will definitely help organizations scale. So coming to next round of our questions, and now we will talk about data. So we are heading towards data to decisive action. So to make AI possible or to make AI do something meaningful, we need data. And there are so many problems related to data. So we will be dealing around those problems. We will understand what are the problems and what are the solutions for them. So my first question will be for Shamal. Shamal, in day-to-day life, we use AI, and there is a popular saying that garbage in, garbage out. So that whatever you feed to AI, it will give you the results. So for most of the Indian MSMEs, that the data lives in WhatsApp messages and scattered Excel sheets. So data with MSME today is very scattered and random. So how should a business deal with data inconsistency before AI can do something meaningful?
Yes, thank you so much. It's very nice question actually. Garbage in and garbage out. That sentence is more related to AI actually. Recently अभी हमारे पैनल डिस्कशन से पहले एक सर आए थे, उन्होंने एक प्रेजेंटेशन दिया था और वहाँ पे एक लाइन उन्होंने लिखी थी कि AI which is designed by engineer and used by doctors. सो एक्चुअली AI अगर हम लोग देख पाए तो AI को खुद से तो बिल्ड होता नहीं है. AI लर्न फ्रॉम आवर एंड. जो भी डिज़ाइन करते हैं वो हम लोग डिज़ाइन करते हैं. सो AI कुछ अलग सी बात है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. सो AI को यूज़ करना सीखो, और AI को अगर यूज़ करना है तो फर्स्ट पार्ट AI इज़ नॉट चैलेंजिंग. एक्चुअली फर्स्ट पार्ट चैलेंज हमारे पास तो सबसे पहले तो ये है कि डेटा, बिकॉज आई एम अ टेक्निकल पर्सन. आई एम मोस्टली डेटा में मैं काम करती हूँ, ERP प्रोवाइड करती हूँ. सो सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत ये है कि डेटा डिसिप्लिन नहीं है, डेटा सेट नहीं है. सो फर्स्ट स्टेप फॉर द बिजनेस, to the entrepreneurs, even for the each and every student also, हमारा पूरा डेटा व्हाट्सएप में रहता है, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम एक्सेल शीट्स में रहता है, मैसेजेस शेयर करके रखते, और या तो फिर बहुत लोगों को डायरीज यूज करने की आदत होती है. सो जस्ट मेक योर डेटा फर्स्ट इन द सेंट्रलाइज वे. Like you can use tools for that, like a CRM, like account software. So many things are there. So first step is you just centralize your data. So digitalization is the first step. Second step, organize. So why organize? Because हम लोग बिलिंग प्रोसेस करते हैं, हम लोग बताते हैं कि हमारे ये वेंडर्स है, सर्विस प्रोवाइडर्स है, बिल्स है, इनवॉइसेस है. उसका एक सिस्टम होना चाहिए जो प्रॉपर तरीके से सेट होना चाहिए. और वो सेम प्रोसेस अगर हम लोग हमेशा, जैसे कि मैं खुद कर रही हूँ तो मैं मेरी एम्प्लॉय को भी बोल दूंगी, दिस इज द प्रोसेस एक्चुअली, यू जस्ट राइट इन दैट वे. सो that thing is more important. And third, which is the last, optimize. So first step, digitalize. Second, organize. And third step, optimize. So optimization with AI. So which is most important part कि AI जो भी हम लोग use करना चाहते हैं, so in a better way use करिए. AI just हमारे business को shape नहीं देता है, so AI हम लोग को discipline भी सिखाता है. So this is the answer for you.
Thank you so much for raising one most important aspect, data discipline. So my next question will be for Vikram. So you are into customer success, and in customer success, data arrives from dozens of disconnected sources like CRM, product usage, support tickets, billing details, and NPS. So when you were building Sequus, how did you solve the data readiness problem or data discipline problem? And what is the learning that every business should take from that?
Yeah, I think again, adding to Shamal, she highlighted it rightly that the data is quite fragmented. Before that, I'll just give a context. Like this is my third startup to got acquired earlier. One of that startup was a completely AI-driven startup, which I ran for 2 years and then we got acquired. This is the third one, which is Cycus Infotech. We have just turned 5 years. What we are building is Cycus AMS, which is an account management solution, which is a customer success platform, which is end-to-end AI-powered, probably one of its kind in the world. So when you ask like how exactly we got the challenges, like when we started building the Cycus AMS application, which is a customer success platform, what does it mean is you handle the prospecting activities till the deal is getting closed in the CRMs. Post CRM, it has been completely fragmented. For the students over here, when the customer gets converted in as a sales process, it gets converted. From then, it has been completely neglected. When I say neglected, in a unified way. So if a CEO wants to ask his team, like, what is the health of this particular customer? And people will start opening up multiple applications and multiple tabs. It is not a vague thing to say that one particular organization might use more than 20 applications, 20 disoriented or disaligned systems to manage one particular customer. So when we started building the customer success application, the Cycus AMS application, we got the first major problem is how to showcase one view, one unified view of a customer, saying like, this is your customer and this is the health of your customer and this is the journey of your customer. That becomes very challenging because it has been isolated. The history of the customer onboarding, pre-onboarding sat in CRMs. The account activities used to handled by customer support applications, with ticketing applications, or maybe many more applications where engagement is happening with the customer, the training is happening, the retention is happening with the customer. So this has been isolated in 20 odd or more than 20 plus applications. So what we wanted to build is a unified view, which we call as a customer 360 plus view, which showcases the past activities of the customer, the present activities of the customer, and with AI, also how exactly this will be forecasted. So forecasting becomes very critical. As she rightly said, and the question was also there, the previous question is like garbage in, garbage out. If enough data is not there, you cannot predict the future activities. So exactly in the similar sense, when we were building Cycus AMS, we first solve the problem of defragmented data. So we have more than 10 plus departments can be catered with one application. So be it ticketing, be it invoicing, be it the customer engagement, be it customer success, be it training, learning, or any other touch points with the existing customer, has to be solved by one application. And then you say that, yes, there is a unified view of the data, which is the customer, which is happening at one premise. So when we were building, that was a major challenge, bringing all those customer data points into one application. And that's how Cycus AMS evolved over period. When we say that it's a end-to-end, that means like you are not supposed to use 10 or 20 odd applications. This is the one central application. The customer closed by sales team, you have to use only one application, and then it makes sense. So how we leverage AI over there is the fragmented data comes at one premise, and then a lot of, I'll give a small example. I mean, I asked this to a lot of vice president also, and maybe food for thought here as well. Like we asked one of the CEOs, like, can you say, let's say you are handling 100 odd accounts, 100 customers you have. Can you say that out of this 100 accounts, how much additional revenue that you can generate in next 1 year? Pin drop silence, because the eccentricity of data wasn't there. The prediction is far away. So we've built one white spacing kind of application based on AI, which has different layers. I mean, typically 4 layers. One layer says how this customer's industry is behaving. That is one layer. Okay. Second layer says how this organization is behaving in the industry. Okay. Third layer says how this customer is using our services or products, the consumption or the usage metrics. And then the fourth says what all services that we provide and this customer has not adopted so far. So these 4 layers decides what is the additional scope of business that we can do with this customer. So now when a CEO comes up and says, okay, what is the additional revenue that we can generate? 100 crores. Okay, which are the accounts which are giving me 100 crores? 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts. Who are the people who are managing this 20 accounts? These are the 1, 2, 3, 4 people. And what is this happening? So that's when it becomes very interesting. And that's what we are solving at Cycus, like centralization of data, unified view of the customer, and then a lot of predictions based on this behavior of a lot of other patterns as well. Thank you.
So that's a very important point raised by Vikram. Most of the times business में ये होता है कि कस्टमर को सिर्फ कन्वर्जन तक भाव दिया जाता है, and after conversion customer is the most neglected person. So it is very important. And one of the input I got from one of speeches I attended before, so he said कि आपका पहला कस्टमर अभी क्या कर रहा है, 3 साल पुराना कस्टमर, 10 साल पुराना कस्टमर आज क्या कर रहा है, ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. And that's the granularity and that gives you advantage in business. So you said that who are giving you 100 crore additional revenue. So knowing that is very important in today's business world. So my next question will be for Mangesh. So we have been talking about data discipline and how data should be maintained and collected. So beyond technical work, I would like to ask, what is the organizational and cultural shift it is required to get a company's data into a state where AI can do something meaningful?
Yeah, Swapnil, I think that's a very important question. And I've seen this firsthand, in some of the orgs that I've worked, both small and large, So I think data democratization is a very, very important term, which I would like to emphasize here. So what happens in a classic scenario, in a large organization, you have multiple departments spread across multiple countries, right? And there's a little bit of a politics, as we know, when things are at scale and, when you have so many people involved, there's always this silos which are created in an organization. So I think the first thing that I found practically, from my knowledge is how do we break these silos, So any organization, if they have to succeed, and this is a research done by, one of the top 3 consulting groups called BCG, Boston Consulting Groups. So what they found is, the organizations that have succeeded in using AI for a positive ARR, have invested 70% of their budget in only cultural transformation. So that kind of, makes me think, that the first thing that we have to do is having the data democratization and also breaking the breaking the silos inside an organization. So if you have to have a common data strategy, then first and foremost, you need a culture where every data has accountability. And in terms of accountability, I mean to say not just who owns that data, but also who owns the quality of that data, right? Because you would have multiple teams who are ingesting data. There would be multiple teams who are modifying that data. So if you don't have a very specific data strategy, right, you won't be succeeding with your endeavors. So I think that's the first thing. The second thing that I came across in my knowledge or in my experience is you also have data that cannot be exposed or that you cannot feed to a LLM model, right? So there are both PII related issues, and there are also legal constraints where you cannot train your model on that data. So I think for such cases, you need to think out of the box, right? So what we did over here was, try to leverage the synthetic data generation. So we created a model which would only create synthetic data sets based on the existing data we have. So it needed a little bit of a capital investment, but that was a data strategy which worked for us. And I think it worked. It has worked for a lot of organizations. So I think these 2 points which I would like to mention. The first thing is, treat your data as a major product. Don't treat it as a byproduct, because everything else is secondary if your data is not up to the mark. And secondly, break the silos. Create a culture in an organization where your data is democratized, it is having clear ownership, and it is shared across the organizations.
That was a nice point. My next question will be to Karthik. So you have worked with companies like Amazon, so which are most famous and most talked about their organizational culture. So when it comes to organizational culture, what kind of culture should be deployed by an organization which is willing to adopt AI, or also a company which is AI first company? So what kind of culture they should have?
I think from a culture point of view, it's purely, I mean, different companies come with their own culture, right? I'm sure everybody would agree. What drives culture is very important, which is organizations have something called as leadership principles. They all go by their principles, right? And large companies like Amazon had a very important principle called customer centric, right? Anything and everything that we do, we will do it keeping the customer in the center. Now, from a data point of view and from a culture point of view, I think it's organization will try and drive, but that's one side of the story, right? The other side of the story is what should an individual do, and that is where concepts like or terminologies like experimentation, right, as a culture is very important. What happens when you experiment? You either learn, you succeed, or you fail, but you still learn, right? So experimentation as a culture is very, very important. The second thing is this concept of learning over knowing, which is in this world of evolution, there is so much to learn. Every day there's a new model that's coming out. So we need to continuously learn, right? Upgrading through experimentation, through learning. And that's the new IP, which is you need to learn. And that should be a mindset and a culture. The third thing, these two, I would say from an individual point of view. From an organizational point of view, I think it needs to go really, really top down, right? If it doesn't get pushed from a leadership point of view, nobody will do it. At Ematicus, we've invested heavily in terms of upskilling our people. And how do you do that? We've done two things. One, we've put a small weightage in the KRA of an employee to upskill themselves on their own, and that's a row item in your performance, right? If you don't do it, then you're appraised accordingly. The second thing is we need to create a culture of encouraging participation. We recently did at Ematicus an event called AI Accelerate, where we brought a lot of topics to solve in-house problems, and the winner got a bunch of goodies, blah, 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 right? So this mindset of culture of solving problems should come top down. And when leadership takes it up head on, I think you can really, not enforce, but empower, I would say, right? So that's my take.
So that was nice input. My next question will be for Shri. See, we all know that in US and Europe there are very stringent data protection laws and data privacy laws, and India is still finding its ground with respect to the DPDP Act, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. So, as someone deploying AI in critical healthcare sector across the environments, where does India actually stand, and what are the opportunities and challenges for Indian businesses?
Yeah, so clearly data protection, more and more people are now talking about it in India. The government is also stepping up to ensure data privacy. As far as my industry is concerned, we are still much behind. The industry is much behind, like I would say, global standards. In the US, data protection, as far as, in the healthcare industry, the earliest I read about that was in 1998. Some of you may not have been even born, but that's how seriously they have been taking data privacy in healthcare. So is in Europe. Europe healthcare is still, I would say, largely regulated by the government. So maybe implementing data protection and all of that was maybe a little bit easier. One advantage that we had as a company, or all of us here come from sort of tech backgrounds. IT, by the nature of the industry itself, is very global. So we naturally tend to benchmark ourselves in every aspect of business to global standards. So if there's an engineer, talking about architecture, it will be at some international benchmark. So naturally, as far as data protection was concerned, data privacy was concerned, there was no question in our minds that we have to be cognizant that this data partially belongs to somebody else, right? So anonymizing that data and using anonymized data to train our models was always there, like one of the main pillars for us, and that has helped us really well. So we are now also, just because of that strategy, US healthcare organizations are like literally pulling. We are not actively marketing ourselves there, but they are literally inviting us. The reason, in the US, you're not able to use patients' data, especially video data, all of that, to train their models. So some of our biggest competitors are, Amazon Health and Microsoft, Google, all of them are in healthcare, but even they are not able to train their models on data, which we are able to do that here. So in a way, it has been a bit of a blessing for us that the data protection laws were a bit on the softer side. Having said that, as industry, we have to take care because it's going to backfire on us if we start misusing patients' data. I hope I answered your question.
And that's the ethical role that we need to adopt in. So my next question will be for Mithil. So Mithil, you coach the founders and entrepreneurs in content creation.
Yep.
And because of this AI, we have all kind of engagement data, analytics, and algorithm signals of our content. I want to ask you a different question here. So are creators still making content for their audience today, or they have quietly started making content for algorithms? And is human creativity dying in the process?
It's actually a very grave situation, and that is actually affecting the creator economy. Algorithm rewards visibility, but people rewards trust. I'll give you an example here. Many of the students who are sitting in this room right now, they are on their Instagram right now. So when they are scrolling, the creator is getting the views, but these students are not connecting with those people. So in the end, even if the influencers or big creators are creating content, they are only doing it for views. So the algorithm always gives the views. But when it comes to creators who are playing a long game, they actually create content keeping in mind their target audience. And that's the reason why I hope every one of you will be having couple of creators who you resonate with. And now when the creators who are using this data and analytics and using AI to get the insights, they're able to create exactly the content which the audience feel, "Arey, ye to mere liye hai." This person is able to read my mind. This is exactly the pain point I am going through. And not, of course, even Instagram listens to our audios. If you think of any recipe, ma'am, so like, immediately wo reel pe aana start ho jata hai. But again, those are datas, those are touch points. So what over here important is that how do you train AI to get this data and then connect to the real audience? Because algorithm definitely will support you, but it is the humans who are going to pay you. So all of you who are sitting here in the next 3 to 4 years, you are going to be there using this AI to do this. So you need to understand while sitting in this conference that yes, this data points or any discussion that we are doing, how crucial it is for you. But again, if you do a small experiment here and get all the data points of the people, how many of you are paying attention or how many of you are using note takers right now to record everything and then creating a summary out of it, or you are just sitting, we'll get that data. And then the university can do a lot of things in order to ensure that how can we engage you better, serve you better, and serve the industry at large better. So that's where the importance of data points are crucial.
And that's very interesting take by Mithil. And why I asked this question, because last few years there was a fad. Instagram पे फलाना trending music पे video बना दो तो it will go viral. So there were some algorithms that really made people viral. But to make some meaningful business out of it, we must study and analyze the data, as Mithil say, to understand the viewer's point of view and take decisions accordingly. So we will be entering to our third round of discussion. And again, the most important thing is the decision-making aspect of AI. So my first question will be for Shri only. So tele ICU and healthcare sector, critical healthcare sector is very crucial. So where a wrong decision is a cost of life. So as we know that AI is now assisting those decisions in real time.
Yeah.
So honestly tell me, who is actually making the call today, or who is actually making decision, the clinician or the algorithm?
Right.
So I would like the answer in a general manner across the industry.
Yeah. You said you want a general answer, but let me start being specific to my industry. I think our technology, we are not trying to replace doctors or nurses. We don't even want to do that. And I think generally as a society, it doesn't seem very ethical that, we are trying to replace doctors. So let's not even try to do that. Every time we speak with a hospital who want to, use our AI, one of the things that we explain to them, we give them this analogy. You're driving on the road, there are traffic lights. The traffic light is telling you what to do, but it is the driver who has to stop the car or slow down the car or accelerate, whatever. So similarly, our AI, although we say that it's very mature, it will give you all the insights, it will be much more faster and all of that, probably much more efficient. The action has to be taken by the doctor and the nurses. We are here to augment your abilities somewhere where things, like you are possibly falling short. That is where AI is there, but the action has to be taken by the doctors and the nurses. So I hope that answers.
So that's very important and ethical answer that we must respect. So why I ask this question? Because we are slowly moving towards autonomous decision making. And my next question will be for Mangesh only. That we all also know that we are fast moving towards autonomous decision making. So where AI does all the decision making, and AI doesn't only recommend, it decides on our behalf and takes action. So as someone building these systems, how far we are from that reality today, and should we even get in that direction? So should we accept autonomous decision making by AI?
Yeah, I mean, to answer your question, yes and no at the same time. So, you know, AI is moving so fast that previously we used to think it's going to take like 1 year to reach here, but I see like people are building those products in weeks. Anything that I feel maybe it'll take 1 more year. I see a company doing it in just next week. So it's moving very fast. So regarding the autonomous decisions, definitely, in a bounded context, it does work very well today, and I think everyone is doing that. But when there are things which are very very large in stake, where as sir said, somebody's life is at stake, right? You cannot have the AI do the decision making there. So AI would augment the human being. So it would basically give all the data points that the surgeon or the doctor needs to factor in before taking the right call. So your AI will basically cut short the journey, to a large extent, but you need to have the human in the loop to do the final decision making. So I think this is one of the rail guards which a lot of organizations are building today, which is called as human in the loop, where they are able to detect what decisions the AI model shouldn't take, and these are routed to the humans, and then the humans basically augment the decision making and they take the final call. So I think in a bounded context, definitely AI is almost there. But in an unbounded context where the stakes are high, I would advise, we should have a human in the loop kind of a functionality, right? Which does the final decision making.
Right. So that's very important aspect we should keep in mind. So my next question will be for Vikram. So Vikram, I will be requiring some fast or quick response because we are running short of time. So there are two types of businesses today. One is adopting AI as a reactive intelligence. So where they fix problem after the problem appears. And second is AI proactive intelligence. So detecting the problems and preventing them. So throughout the world, what kind of intelligence is being used mostly today? And if people are using reactive intelligence, how should they shift toward the proactive intelligence?
Yeah, so quickly, I would say, like, based on our research and to the context of our industry, I would say that 60% of the companies so far are into the reactive mode. When the problem arises, they act on that, they jump on that. There are a lot of permutation combination gets done when the collection of the problem has been collected in the organization. This is probably the old approach, but the new one, everyone is moving towards. The rest of the 40% who are the cream organizations are moving towards the proactive approach. What does that mean is, see, a customer doesn't wake up one day and say that I don't want to stay with this service provider, I just want to move out. Okay, this doesn't happen overnight. This happens over a period of time, and those are a lot of signals which the customer gives you. If you don't read those signals, not necessarily every time the customer should complain and then only leave you, right? The customer leaves in silent as well. Those silent signals has to be, I mean, they are very visible. If that has been captured rightly with AI, then as the panel already said that it gives you a lot of insights, but the decision is up to you whether you have to act on that or not at the right time. So being proactive always means like the insights are available with you. There are a lot of silent signals the customer gives on a regular basis. You are acting on that and becoming proactive. So I would say that firefighting versus forcing, that's the actual way over here. So firefighting will always kill the revenue which is existingly with you. Forget about the additional revenue which is coming from the customer. So you have to be little assertive in terms of understanding the silent signals, and that's actually the proactive approach, which 40% of the organizations are still using. 60% still goes on the preventive approach towards those all signals over there. That's what my take is.
So it is a case by case decision we need to take. My next question will be for Karthik. So please enlighten us about how risky or how it is to put everything in AI's control, and will AI replace humans one day? in decision making?
How risky is it? I think there are two examples that I want to call out, right? It's us who build these solutions. There have been instances in the US judiciary where, a lot of bias was introduced into the judicial statements because of fundamental data that came in, right? So we shouldn't go that path. And human in the loop is the right way to do it. But the way I look at it is I'm a big fan of Iron Man. The human plus man machine ecosystem that we call, right? AI will bring superpowers to people, and the decision making should always lie with us. I mean, when I say always, not necessarily all the time, but you're trying to augment, like all of these panelists talked about, right? You're trying to augment it, but the decision making should lie with us. And I think we're evolving in a scenario where we're trying to make AI systems and agents so intelligent that, of course, decision making is an important part of it, but guardrails in place, right? The risk is very, very high if we let AI systems take over. And in critical systems like healthcare, judiciary, or government systems, right? Things can go very, very haywire if we let them to do. So I don't see a world where AI will be enabled for end-to-end decision making, and that onus lies with us, right? So that's my take. I don't see at least a near future. People are talking about AGI for a very long time, but I don't see that coming. The humans will continue to anchor the decision making, and we will build responsible AI systems and ethical AI systems, which will make the future a much better place for everybody, right?
So decision making should rest in our hands for coming future. So let me give you an interesting example from my family. So all the important decisions are taken by me, like खाने में क्या बनेगा, कौन सी movie देखनी है, and all the petty decisions, secondary decisions are taken by my wife. जैसे कि घर कहाँ लेना है, बच्चे के admission कहाँ करवानी है, and like this. So let me ask the next question to Mithil. You coach founders and creators about the content creation, and you believe every founder must create content. So is content creation itself is a form of decisive action, and it is the one decision most founders are still avoiding?
The answer is yes. When it comes to me working with founders, CEOs, and many other leaders, one thing that I commonly found is that all these founders, including all of us who are sitting here, is that we have a lot of insights, we have a lot of experiences, and we have a lot of failure. But very few are able to be vulnerable and are able to showcase that entire journey to the world. Most of them is like, that there's a dialogue from Three Idiot, hota sabke paas hai, but dikhata koi nahi, right? Similarly, when it comes to content creation, right now, like, if I have to speak to all the people sitting here, if you can connect with us as well as to one of the previous keynote done by Pradeep, he very clearly said LinkedIn and personal brand. So if you are able to connect this event, today's event and tomorrow's event, and if you can amalgate the entire thing and create like a case study and add it into your own learnings, and maybe create one post on LinkedIn, maybe tonight or tomorrow, think of the perspective people will have for you. And that's similarly what happens when the founders become vulnerable and they start sharing the data, they start sharing the insights. I'll give you one more example. There was one founder who was solving the same customer problem for more than 100 customers, but he was not sharing the insights. And when, by my advice, he started doing that, he started attracting the right audience, the right clients, and his revenue went 4 times. So connecting Pradeep's keynote with this, what is the difference between a student who has a personal brand and a student who doesn't? It's the entire 2x and the 3x salary that you get, or the opportunities that you get. It looks very simple, yet it is very powerful. So how many of you are taking notes today? Hence the answer. Thank you.
So, okay. So last question I will be asking to Shamal. Shamal, AI promises smarter and faster decision making. But if women remain underrepresented at the decision making table, can that intelligence ever be truly inclusive? And are we just building faster systems that reflect the same old blind spots? So I think that this is a very important question. Please, Shamal.
Yes, thanks, Swapnil. It look like it's a personal questions for me actually. अभी स्वप्निल ने खुद ही बताया है आंसर कि बड़ी बड़ी चीजें जो भी है, जो भी डिसीजन है, उनकी वाइफ लेती है. हम लोग भी देखते हैं, मे बी एवरीवन कैन रिलेट. It's not a gender problem actually. But every man can relate it because so many decisions, like I am also a entrepreneur and my husband always ask me, अकाउंट्स का सब देखा है क्या, चेक किया है क्या, सीए से बात हो गई है क्या, डील फाइनल हो गई है, सो नेक्स्ट क्या करना है, ये सारी चीज़ें आप देख लो. इवन दो मेरे ऑफिस में जो भी काम करते हैं उनका सब जो भी वर्कलोड है, वर्क प्रोसेस है, वो सब मैं हैंडल कर देती हूँ. सो इट मीन्स ये समझ में आता है कि वुमन कैन हैंडल ईच एंड एवरीथिंग in a proper way because she think in a deep way actually. जो भी प्रॉब्लम होते हैं, जो भी सॉल्यूशंस होते हैं, उसका जो भी आंसर हम लोग को सोचना है या फिर डिसीजन मेकिंग थिंग जो होती है वो सबसे ज़्यादा वुमेन्स के पास होती है, ऐसे मुझे लगता है. इट्स नॉट अबाउट फेयरनेस बिकॉज ये ऐसे जैसे कि वुमन, मैं खुद हूँ वुमन, तो मैं उसी के बारे में सोच रही हूँ या फिर आई एम टेकिंग अ फेयर डिसीजन एवरी टाइम. सो इट्स नॉट जस्ट, बेटर सोल्यूशन इज मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. सो जब भी डिसीजन मेकिंग हम लोग कोई भी पॉइंट हम लोग डिस्कस करते हैं तो मोस्टली घर में भी ऑफिस में भी वुमेन्स को पूछा जाता है बिकॉज शी कैन एक्सप्लेन इन अ डीप वे एंड शी कैन वो जो प्रोसेस जो भी होती है डिप्लॉय करने की. सो एआई ऑल्सो, जो भी एआई का भी हम लोग को कोई भी डिसीजन लेना है तो एआई डिप्लॉय करने के समय मुझे लगता है कि वुमेन्स वो टेबल पे होनी चाहिए टू टेक द फाइनल डिसीजन. बिकॉज अभी भी हम लोग ब्लाइंड स्पॉट में खेल रहे हैं. व्हाई इन द नेक्स्ट वर्जन? सो इफ यू वांट टू अपग्रेड योर एआई, so you can deploy with the help of women. So maybe this is the right answer for you. Thank you.
That was very nice and important aspect made by Shamal. And I think this entire discussion cannot be completed without this last input that Shamal gave us, because we all are aspiring for more inclusive and sustainable and robust future. So let's open this floor for questions. So if anyone has questions from the audience, from the students. So we are running short of time. So we can have 1 or 2 questions. Yes, please. So anyone, please, can you pass on the mic to audience? So you can direct your question directly to anyone you want to ask.
Good afternoon, panel members. My question is that as majority of business are using AI to generate revenue, and if any business fails to do so, means using AI to generate the revenue, so is there any risk for them in terms of generating revenue?
So, this is a question directed to anyone specific, or anyone can
No,
give
sir,
that?
for anyone.
So,
Can you just repeat it?
can you repeat your question?
Sir, as our topic for today is majority of the organizations are using AI to generate revenue, means to multiply their revenue by using AI. And if any organization fails to do so, so is there any risk in terms of generating revenue for them?
So see, there are abundant opportunities to generate revenues with AI, without AI, right? You fail to generate, that is, it's not a risk, I would say, but you are restricting your own growth opportunities over there. So AI is always there to multiply. I mean, you want to leverage it the way the previous session was happening, and he was asking you that, how are you doing assignments? And you say within 10 minutes, I can do the assignment, right? That's an additional advantage that you have. If you become too dependent on that and do not use the way Karthi was also saying, the human in the loop kind of approach, that you have to take the decision, The data is lying in front of you. You're not taking the decision, you're in loss. But it is not at the risk of losing your organization, it is at the risk of growth, I would say.
Yes. Thank you.
Karthik,
I'll tie this to a little more philosophy of how organizations survive, right? If you look at the Fortune 100 companies, try finding the companies that have survived for more than 100 years. What I'm trying to get to is organizations survive with one fundamental change, which is them changing, right? And AI is the current technology which people need to adapt, and learn with it and grow with it. Now, if you leave it, the loser is going to be the organization for not changing, and soon you'll see organizations dying, right? That's the biggest risk. It's not about, forget the revenue. Revenue, you'll reduce, increase, do that in a year or two. But if a company goes down into the spiral of not changing, and there's no coming back. So you will shut shop. Forget revenue increase or decrease, right? So change is the only thing that organizations need to adopt to. And AI is the biggest change that is driving not just revenue, but entire organizational disruption in terms of digital transformation, right? So that's how I look at it.
and business is all about experimenting. So if you even fail in some avenues, just move on and try something new project. So it is always an option. Yes, thank you so much. I will briefly map whatever we have covered till now. So we had a reality check about, is AI a revenue multiplier? And yes, it is, but with some cautions, with some discipline. We also discuss about data and its challenges. So we need to have some data discipline and organizational culture within our organization, with respecting the privacy of our clients and customers. And finally, we talked about decision making. So we have to use AI as our assistant, and with companionship of AI, we can scale our organizations. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, the panel members.
Thanks, Swapnil and all the panelists. Guys, my request to the audience, yes, it's a post-lunch. Little surprised, not even a single hand gone up, that whether you are making a notes or not. I could see that sensible question coming from a very humble person. There's so many brilliant guys sitting here, and not one hand raised saying that you guys are not making a note. Are you not making reels? Are you not making Insta? Are you not making LinkedIn posts? You do. But guys, be with us, be with the audience. Can we? We have just 2 more sessions to go. I think we will not have this opportunity again, guys. Can we give a big round of applause to the panelists once again? Thank you. Thank you, guys. Let me take the opportunity to invite Sakshi ma'am and Jyoti ma'am. Can you come down to the stage to felicitate our beloved panelists, starting from the moderator, Swapnil sir. Ma'am, you can also go. Can we give a round of applause, guys, please? Every time I don't need to announce. Mithil sir. Jyoti ma'am, you can also come forward. Come forward, come forward. Mithil sir. Next is Vikram sir. Vikram sir. Mangosh sir. Vikram is not there. So Mangosh. Shamal ma'am. Can we Shamal ma'am ka? Okay. Guys, check the names. Can you check the names and I'm there. See? Kamal ma'am is there. Can we give a round of applause to Shamal ma'am? Shri sir, Shri, Mr. Shri Karve. Jyoti ma'am, can you come forward? Mr. Karthik Chandrakant. Yeah. It was a fantastic discussion. Thank you so much. The entire panelists moderated by. Okay, why not? Why not? Please, please. Can you come forward, all the panelists, along with the moderator and the faculties who felicitated? No, it's okay, ma'am. It's okay. Please be there. Thank you so much. So now, yeah. It'll come back to you. Don't worry. Can we settle things up? Guys, are we going to remove? Yeah, please do so. Meanwhile, we'll move to the next session, guys. It's a keynote number 4 for the day, and a very interesting topic: AI-driven holistic infrastructure, powering manufacturing excellence and startup growth. The speaker is Mr. Chintamani Kelkar. He's a consultant, Outrun consultant, lead consultant, ex-Reliance. He worked for Aditya Birla, I'm sorry guys. And he's also a growth mentor. Can we give a big round of applause to Mr. Chintamani Kelkar sir? And without wasting your time, if you're ready, if the stage is ready.
Just a minute.
Sir, the stage is yours. Stage is yours.
Good afternoon. Hello. Can you hear me? ये थोड़ा adjust. Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. The subject is a little different from today, what we are listening, AI, artificial intelligence. Now, what is holistic infrastructure? I am not going to talk on AI as a subject, but I am going to talk on the part of application of AI. So what is holistic infrastructure? We'll first go. Initially, when I started as graduate engineer, it was 1984. And scenario was this: machine without automation, telephones without STD. STD means subscriber dialing. This was the scenario, but somewhere in 1993. Somewhere in 1993, we started working with Aditya Birla Group and we saw programmable logic controllers and DCS. Some of you may be engineers, you will understand the meaning of DCS, distributed control system. So in 1993, we had been using touch screen controls. So technology was very much in use, and DCS, SCADA means supervisory control and data acquisition. So these words are basically connected to AI. Supervisory control and data acquisition, logic and data, that is making AI, correct? Email somewhere introduced in 1995. Then came the era of Y2K problem. Y2K problem, have you heard of this? Y2K problem? Y2K problem you have heard? This was a problem in 2000 when computers, they were predicting that computers will stop working and there will be a big disruption, but it did not happen. It was only a robotic machines in industry, high precision, no errors. Now this is the actually area in which technology was taking up. I want to make a statement, very bold statement here. AI was there in industry for many years together, but it was formally christened 2-3 years ago. So high precision machinery, robotics machinery, what is robot? Robot is a machine which is having logic, which is having data. Data has been fed to it and it is working on complete control. So robot is complete control. However, we cannot call it AI control because there is no freedom to it. Smartphones. Smartphone is again a part of artificial intelligence. Again, there is a lot of data, lot of logic working. Bank accounts, UPI, this is all data and logic. So what I will say, I will give you an example. If a child is born on 1st of July, when we are going to christen it, when we are going, uska naam kab karenge? At least 15 दिन wait karenge. We'll wait for 15 days minimum, and then after some time it will be more. But it will be christened formally after 15 days, 20 days, 30 days. AI was very much in use. So I will say, whenever there is a technological upgradation happens, people are always afraid. Everybody is talking here whether AI is going to disrupt in a wrong way. It is going to a wrong direction, but it is definitely going not. Technology is always at your support. Does the technology upgrade mankind? This is the question which we have to ask, and I will say yes, it is. It is a boon or it is a trouble creator. But if you see, it is a boon for the mankind. So when our nation saw the technological upgradation and automation for the first time somewhere in 82, it was a boon because high production, ease of work, high demand, added revenue, skill development, jobs, more revenue. So technology is always with you. Whether it is AI, it is going to be great benefit. So we can go on discussing for many months together whether AI is going to disrupt in a wrong way. It is not. The way you are going to use it, it's going to be the same. What is intelligence? This is natural intelligence. I am going on this part very specifically because artificial intelligence is a word used here. So we have to use a word called natural intelligence. So all you are using natural intelligence, freedom to analyze and act. This is the best part as on date, that the natural intelligence has got a freedom to act and analyze. Governed intelligence, automatic machines with logic controls and functional data. This is used in machinery, but there is no freedom. That's why we cannot call it artificial intelligence. It is not free. Robots with complex level programming and human thought process. Robots in Japan are working, they are assisting home housewives to carry out so many activities. They are humanoids. They are also intelligent, but still they cannot be called as controlled by artificial intelligence. That is called advanced intelligence. And fourth is artificial intelligence. So what is artificial intelligence? Latest entry in domain with database analytical freedom given. This is the only thing which is differing from normal natural intelligence, governed intelligence, advanced intelligence. This is the intelligence which has got freedom. What is the freedom? Explored and used to achieve complex human technology, social, environmental tasks, and allowed to forecast and predict. This is the only thing which is really making sense, forecast and predict, under active discussion by experts. Yes, this is going to be great disruption to technology. What is AI? These are the examples, these are the definitions of AI, which are of opinion. Very important part is here. Artificial intelligence is ability machines to learn from data, recognize patterns, help humans make better decisions faster. The best part of artificial intelligence is it is making faster decisions. I can tell you that if I talk today about artificial intelligence, after 2 days, my entire theory, whatever I put to you, will be obsolete because artificial intelligence has gone beyond that. Earlier, computers like obedient workers only do what is instructed. AI changes the picture now. Computers machine can study large amount of data, learn patterns, support human decisions. This is the artificial intelligence. In simple words, AI is not replacing humans. This is very important. AI is not going to replace. I will give you another example. When somewhere in 84, 85, technology automation came in, it replaced only humans. It does not replace it does not replace the machinery. It replaces only humans. Again, AI is going to replace humans. It is not going to replace the working pattern. Now, my main subject is holistic infrastructure. So what is holistic infrastructure? If you see, infrastructure is physical system. This is all known to you. You can go to your computer, you can go to your mobile and see what is a comprehensive holistic infrastructure. But I will call this as a comprehensive infrastructure because holistic infrastructure is something else. Physical system, digital platforms, data intelligence, human capability, and governance framework. What is the meaning of holistic? Anything which is ethical in core values and comprehensive while considering objective, social impact, national interest, and environmental alignment. Now, holistic infrastructure development is something which is under creation by many companies. They are creating holistic infrastructure, not just a comprehensive infrastructure. So let us go more into detail. This you can all note down because you as MBA students are going to use this matter in days to come for your startup growth, for your startup planning, where God-gifted resources are not abused and used responsibly, where participation of women is in large scale. Where participation of women is in large scale means 50% of our human resources are continuously being put into the system. That is also holistic. So there is a balance of it. Where long-term sustainability is in plan and action. So while planning holistic infrastructure, it is not just mechanical infrastructure. It is civil infrastructure, national infrastructure, environmental infrastructure, where human values matter and remain a part of the mainframe, where carbon footprint is lowest while keeping the intended overall progress of mankind at sustainable and regenerating. So this is the basic meaning of infrastructure, holistic. Holistic infrastructure. Now, these two are basic: core manufacturing and national and digital and data infrastructure. These two are variables known to you. You are always using it. But what is national pride and integrity infrastructure? Now, can you tell me, anybody, what is the national pride and integrity infrastructure? Or environmental sustainability infrastructure? You all see the YouTube sabhi log dekhte ho? There is somebody called Mr. Dholakia. He has done environmental sustainability infrastructure. इसने 150 तालाब अपने गांव के आसपास रिजुविनेट किया है. So whenever you are talking only about mechanical infrastructure, it is not going to work. Our our nation is facing so many problems of environment, many problems of social status. So national pride and integrity infrastructure, environmental sustainability infrastructure, social fabric and bonding. So what is social fabric and bonding? Social fabric and bonding, suppose you are creating colleges, Birla Institute of Technology, schools, colleges. Most of the people, I will give you example. You must have heard, now this is a little different subject I am talking. Many politicians talk about two big industrialists every day on television, but they never talk about Birla Group and Tata Group. This is because these people have done fantastic work on holistic infrastructure. Birla Institute of Technology is premium institute of technology. They have many factories and they have colonies, they have swimming pools, they have schools, colleges, everything. So social infrastructure, social fabric bonding and infrastructure is created by these people. What is governance infrastructure? Governance infrastructure is something we are creating for the government. Tata Institute of Social Science. Have you heard of Tata Institute of Social Science? Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, have you heard? This is created by Tata for government, aided by Tata. One project, One Tara. Have you heard about this project, One Tara? What is One Tara? That is falling under environmental sustainability infrastructure. They have created an orchard of at least 100+ acres only for पक्षियों के खाने के लिए. Nobody is allowed to go. So what is that? Environmental infrastructure. School, colleges, they are falling under social, national pride. Then Tata had said one thing, if you remember, during the COVID period, that मेरा जितना भी पैसा है यदि देश के लिए लग जाएगा तो मुझे बहुत खुशी होगी. That is called national pride and integrity infrastructure. So this is something which is very important. But you will say, what has got this to do with artificial intelligence? This question comes, all these corporate companies are creating big database. They are collecting data, where to go. They are collecting data, what to act upon. So social infrastructure, national pride, social fabric, governance, everything, they are collecting data, they are processing it. There are people, those who are working on it continuously, and this infrastructure is created. Core industry, you can see now. Robotic surgery, I think somebody has spoken on robotic surgery. Robotic surgery is going to support, this is technology part, correct? Now I will give you example of AI, not exactly Christian, hospitality industry. Anybody comes in a hotel and if he says that I am a German, immediately the entry is done into the EPABX system and his good morning starts with Guten Abend, good morning, whatever in German. Every ethnic food is provided to him from Germany, likings, cinema, drama, music, everything that is being provided to that person from Germany is in his own language, is ethnic food, likings, everything is from that part. So that is also a part of artificial intelligence, but not specifically told. Public utility places, entertainment industry, and government support system. These are all actively using artificial intelligence. I would like you to see this typical video which explains AI into industry.
Artificial intelligence and manufacturing are a perfect fit because in manufacturing, we tend to produce Artificial intelligence and manufacturing are a perfect fit because in manufacturing, we tend to produce many, many identical parts and products, which generates huge amounts of data, which in turn can then be fed into the artificial intelligence algorithms and thereby help them to learn, improve, identify problems, and process optimizations. Currently, there are many, many projects, experiments going on in the manufacturing sector. And of course, one of the areas where you see this a lot is the automotive sector. We talk about matrix production systems, where basically we do not have anymore the typical century-old linear production system, production line. Instead, we have basically the products, the cars in this case, being put onto a pod, and the pod moves through the factory in a way that is optimized for this specific product, especially when you go to products or cars in the high segment, where each car is completely different from the next car. And therefore, a linear production sequence doesn't make a lot of sense. So this is not future science fiction. This is happening today already. A perfect example of the use of artificial intelligence in manufacturing are robotics. Right now, you need about 2 weeks of highly paid engineers to optimize the robots so that they can really do what they need to do. In the future, we'll have robots that do this by themselves. They will see how, let's say, the welding points are done, compare it to what they should be doing, and then learn and improve. There will be perhaps one engineer to overlook all of this, but the robots will learn by themselves using artificial intelligence.
So, hello. What the engineer said is, large scale human resources will be replaced, but experts will not be replaced. This says that another video for you. This is going to be very important part, because how artificial intelligence, data, logic is going to create a complete home for you. You will go to see, and what are the main points of this?
Without a single brick, without a single tile, a villa can be built in 3 hours. This is the miraculous 3D printed house, a revolutionary technology. Without a single brick, without a single tile, a villa can be built in 3 hours. This is the miraculous 3D printed house, a revolutionary technology that overturns traditional methods of house construction. The entire process is remarkably simple. It all begins with the design of the house model on the computer. With the input of data, specially formulated mortar is squeezed out from the nozzle, smoothly forming a perfect line. Then, through continuous covering and stacking, a wall gradually takes shape, and ultimately, an entire building is printed out in this manner. Moreover, it's worth noting that this method of house construction has many advantages. Firstly, despite its rapid speed, the quality is impeccable. It not only boasts excellent insulation and noise reduction, but also withstands the test of a level 9 earthquake. Secondly, the construction cost is extremely low. Only 2 people are needed to complete the entire operation, saving a significant amount of manpower and time costs. Lastly, its margin of error is minimal, especially adept at constructing irregular shaped houses. It seems as though every shape is within its control. This new type of construction technology not only changes people's perception of house construction, but also opens up new possibilities for the future of the construction industry. What are your thoughts on this? Feel free to share in the comments.
So now you can see this typical construction of a house has achieved all the 6 parameters of manufacturing excellence. This will always ensure that there is no accident while manufacturing or while constructing. There is no breakdown because machines are built to carry out the activity of construction. Customer complaints are not likely to come because all the data related to customer has already been fed to that defects. There is no defect required. There is no defect possible in this case. There is no pollution, as the video has already said that there is no pollution in this case, and there are no losses because in construction, if you have seen, you are all management students, construction, lot of losses happen because of so many things. So all these 6 things of manufacturing excellence have been achieved in construction while using artificial intelligence. Now, are these 6 parameters controlled by ERP system or CRM? You are going to see accident, that is related to department called safety and quality, that is controlled by ERP, which is again a basic system of artificial intelligence. Breakdown, customer complaints, defects, pollution, losses. These are all in manufacturing excellence under control by AI. 6 major activities of manufacturing excellence. 5 years deployment. This is something new which you have not seen till this date, but this is prevalent in all industries, whether it is Aditya Birla Group, Reliance, or any manufacturing company. What are the things we do so that we achieve these 6 is 5 years deployment, visual management, autonomous maintenance, zero abnormality, reliability centered maintenance, and Kaizen movement. I will give you an example. Have you heard of the company called Toyota? So why Toyota is #1 company in world? Any reason why Toyota is one of the safest and economical car in the world? It is because of the Kaizen movement. Kaizen is continual improvement towards excellence. Kai and Zen. Zen means excellence, Kai means small improvements. So whenever you do Kaizen movement, Toyota is following these practices. And I will tell you live example. Ford Motor Company is seen in India as on date. Ford is not seen. General Motors, Fiat, they are not seen because they are not indulging into larger context on this concept, Kaizen movement. And what is Kaizen? Data collection, continuous improvement. Data collection, continuous improvement. What is zero abnormality? Zero abnormality is a concept in manufacturing. You are going to be either going to industry or service industry. This is going to be a concept, zero abnormality. So zero abnormality, if you follow, this is going to create manufacturing excellence. And visual management is something, anybody can tell me what is visual management? In airports, you have seen visual management. Lounge number 1, lounge number 2, all display, gate number, everything, that is called visual management. So without visual management, nothing can survive. So all these 6 things, zero abnormality, Kaizen, reliability center maintenance, visual management, and 5S. 5S is the only thing which has given 65% solutions of manufacturing for Toyota manufacturing practices. So this is the 5 or 6 major constituents of manufacturing excellence. Now, for you all management students, startup growth. Startup growth is the most important thing which you are going to learn today and I am going to share with you. Have you heard the name called Raj Shamani? There was an interview of Raj Shamani with one Mr. Varun Limaye. I have gone through many interviews, but this was related to startups. So you are going to work on startup. What are the startup success factors? Problem statement priority. He has said that what is the most important part of a startup? You are not going to manufacture a product. Is the problem existing in society or nation or somewhere? And then if you address to it, the success factor is high. So problem statement priority. Strong unit economic understanding. If you are going to produce 10,000 parts per day, what is the cost of one part and cost breakup? Electricity, water, everything has to be broken and the cost has to be taken care. Quick product launches, strategic marketing policy. Have you heard the company called Atomberg? How many have heard Atomberg? Atomberg is a startup somewhere in 2018 and I have used the product. I am one of the first users of Atomberg product, which is fans. Okay. Now strategic marketing policy. Generally, MBA students will agree that every product which is launched, it is either given to stockists, retailers, and then it is given to market. Atomberg did not go for this. Strategic marketing policy was directly talking to the people, those who understand the product. They talked to all the stakeholders, major stakeholders. They talked to them, they convinced them, and the entire sales policy was through net. It was not through dealers and stockists. So that succeeded, and Atomberg is on date one of the most successful startups in electronics and electrical industry. That is because of that. Learning directly from customers. I was one of the first customers and they had collected a lot of data from me, how it is working, how do you feel? These are the important parts, success factors for startup growth. Customer feedback. Many companies are not, I am telling you very frankly, my bank never collects customer feedback from me because they feel I am very happy, but it is not that. Customer feedback is the most important for all startups. For all MBA students, this is going to be most important part. I will show you a video here.
Claude just saved a dying tomato plant in 13 minutes without any human help. A project called Sol Biodome gave Claude complete control of a closed agricultural environment. Temperature, light, humidity, CO2, soil moisture, all automated. The condition was simple. If Claude makes a mistake, the plant dies. On day 34, multiple systems crashed simultaneously. The plant started wilting. A human would need hours to diagnose cascading system failures in a controlled environment. Claude detected the failure in a 15-minute diagnostic cycle and fixed everything in 13 minutes. This is what a zero latency operation looks like. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just about tomatoes. Scale this to greenhouses, space agriculture, sensitive conservation labs, where humans physically can't intervene fast enough. Then what will humans do if AI becomes the perfect operator? Let me know in the comments.
So you can see now, AI has successfully rejuvenated a small plant. So AI has what? It can work on environment, it can work on everything, social problem, it can work on national problems. As on date, universal impact. You have heard this Claude. This is AI support. Now, these are the major universal impacts of startups, and they have used artificial intelligence. Now, I'm going to the last part of my presentation. All MBA students, focus on this now. Stronghold of India. I have traveled in Europe for 2.5 months before I am coming here. And I have seen that India is being respected in a very large way. Including Germany and Austria, I have traveled. Very strong companies are inviting Indian engineers and MBA for their companies to work with. And this is the point where you have to focus now. IT experts for last 20 years, space experts at par with NASA, successful expedition to South Pole of Moon, defense experts in ICBM and anti-missile radar, fourth economical power in world and reaching for the third rank in 2 years. Do you agree on this? How many agree on this part? I will tell you, we are already 3. It has to be a formal declaration. Because of certain reasons, this is not being declared, but we are already 3. Experts in diplomacy in very strong position worldwide. Do I need to explain this matter? Do I need to explain this matter? हमारा जहाज स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज से सीधे आ गया है. This is called the biggest thing of diplomacy. Undisputed talent bank across the world for economic growth. Now, what you will do as startup growth? All you, I am telling you the points where you will have to work out. And if you want success in your startups, these are the points. Present challenges. If you don't address these challenges in India, India is not going beyond third. It's going to be third for many years. Highest population to feed and most of the population is a liability. Very poor civic sense, one of the dirtiest cities in the world fall in India. Poor traffic sense and most unruly population with respect to traffic rules. This is the problem. If we do not address these problems, we are not going to be second or even third. Indifferent to depletion and rampant abuse of natural resources. This is all known to you. Mental health and well-being of common public is very low. This is, you can see on YouTube, mental health quotient of Indian young generation is very low. Very poor feeling for mother tongue and motherland. So, this is again I am going to show you. If you want to be successful in startups, you have to use these points. Startup is dependent on these factors, and if you use these factors, your startup is going to be successful. My subject is not to talk about artificial intelligence, but my subject is to talk to you startup growth with respect to artificial intelligence. So data collection is important. Now, before I go to my last 3 slides, you know Yamaha motorcycle? Yamaha motorcycle, how many have used? Yamaha had the tagline, you have seen the crowd, now see the leader. You as people of India, with these problems and these success stories, you are going to be in success provided you look after the points I have shown to you. Then your success rate is going to be great, because if you are going startup in technology, there are so many in competition with you. There are so many in competition, they are doing excelling also. But if you go to these points particularly, these points, remember, these points are going to be your success factors for startup growth. So thank you very much. I'm just concluding on this part. Now see the leader, but I want to show the leader actually. This is the leader for tomorrow. You are going to be the leaders, because I have come here to tell you that I have got many things to share, but 30 minutes is restricting me. You can be the leader worldwide, provided you focus on the points which I have already shared with you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Any
Thanks.
questions?
Guys, any questions to him? Any questions to him?
No questions. Okay. You can talk to me afterwards.
The obedient listeners, sir, I think time is a factor. Thanks a lot for a wonderful presentation. Let's give one round of applause again to Mr. Chintamani. Can I request Srirang sir to felicitate our guests? Student volunteers? Yeah. Guys, stay. Settle down fast. Okay, guys. We have the last session for the day. Can we close the door? A little different. Guys, pay attention. Can we all pay attention? Last session for the day. You have seen debates? Have you seen debates? Don't say Republic TV. We are not going to be into Republic TV. And we're going to have a unique topic called fireside chats. Let's see how these two gentlemen from the industry is going to have a real fireside chats. The topic is, can we be together? Can we be together? The topic is human creativity. The one person is going to talk on human creativity versus artificial intelligence, which is the topic which we have been talking right up from the morning. So who is going to win in the digital marketing? Is it human creativity versus AI? So let's call upon Swapnil on the stage. Can we give a round of applause to Swapnil? And Preetam. Preetam on the stage, and we look forward for a real firefight on the stage. Over to you guys.
Hello.
And my guys, if you can come slow. Thank you.
Did you guys have an overdose of AI?
End of the day,
Great.
sir. Good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for setting up the context. And sir said that we are going to firefight, and I'm afraid that I have forgot my sword. So, without wasting time, let's make it more interesting and relatable to the audience. आज हमारा टॉपिक है human intelligence versus AI. Who wins the battle in marketing? So before going deeper into the marketing, so let's discuss and let's know from Mr. Preetam Kekar. He is industry veteran, B2B maverick, and he has marketing experience spanning across 2 decades. So let's understand the nuances about marketing from him and then gradually dive into the AI battle. So Mr. Preetam, my first question will be how the marketing has changed if we see the COVID-19 or that era. So COVID is a watershed moment for many industries and many sectors. So how marketing has changed after COVID?
Yeah, great question. Thank you, Swapnil. Thank you, everyone, for having me here, first of all. And I heard that you had an overdose of AI. So let's make this very interesting and not make it monotonous for all of you, for sure. So before we dive in, whom you think will win? You, sorry, louder, louder. I can't hear you guys. Come on. I know it's the last session. Who, sorry? Human creativity. Why? What's wrong with AI? Sorry? Is there anything wrong with AI? Okay. So I'll tell you what went wrong with AI post-COVID, you know. So I'll just give you a classic example. If you look at the tea brands in India, pre-COVID, how many tea brands were there in India, online tea brands? And this is pure marketing I'm going to talk to you about, right? So I'm somebody, by the way, who spent about 23 years in telecom, and now I'm a tailor. I stitch clothes. I run a platform which has got 800 plus tailors, and we give home service in 6 cities in India and also in Dubai. And we have a collaboration with Reliance Retail, with whom we have 25 stores. So we can speak about any kind of marketing that is B2B, B2C, and see how AI can be infused in that. So what do you think was the count of number of tea brands in India pre-COVID? Online brands, let's be more specific. There were about 200 plus online brands. Post-COVID, how many brands emerged out of it? 600 plus, 3 times more, right? What does that mean for a marketeer or the algorithms that keep going through? It means that a lead that was costing 150 rupees to generate for a 800 box ka chai ka dibba became 600 rupees. And how much is the chai ka dibba? Still 800 rupees. Is it a viable business? Who is winning here? Who is winning here? AI or human intelligence?
Facebook.
So it's AI who's winning, right? AI is making money for its masters, correct? So point I'm trying to make is the dynamics will keep changing. And Swapnil, you asked me a very pertinent question that what has changed post-COVID. This is what has changed post-COVID. Everybody in COVID thought that they can be wonderful cooks, so they went to cooking, or they thought that they can be good at creating health companies. So if you look at the number of wellness and health companies that emerged post-COVID, and also the number of cooking pages that got launched on Instagram, it's mind-blowing, right? But that also meant that it became that much more expensive to market those products, right? And it became that much more unrealistic. So that's what has changed, Swapnil.
It's very powerful insight, and cost of customer acquisition and all these things, AI has contributed a lot after COVID. I would ask some basic question in entire your marketing journey. When was your first encounter with AI? And was it a love at first prompt? So हम कहते हैं ना love at first sight, but in case of AI, we will have to use word prompt. And or there was a moment of a genuine alarm. So what kind of experience was that?
So I was actually, blown off by the fact that, and I just moved from Singapore to India to take over as the head of marketing for one very large telecom company. It's called Tata Communications, and I was based out of Mumbai. And I realized that there is so much happening using AI as a tool, right? Especially in the content space. So we were selling all the technical products. I don't think a lot of you might know about an MPLS or a security product, not the physical security, but the cyber security products that we used to sell. And it was unbelievable how a US-based marketing company could actually, I would say, navigate the journey right from saying that, okay, are you looking for cloud and hosting services? Then they would throw up what you could say, content only based on cloud and hosting services, and then they would direct it to Tata, right? And everybody was doing it, nothing wrong in doing so. So that was my first encounter, and that was a huge eye opener to say that, what is this world going to be? And then I started my own company called Tailor Smart, and then that became a reality of life because everybody said, Kyare, I want to try my clothes online before you stitch for me. And I said, most of the companies who have tried it have, by the way, gone bankrupt. Okay, please do read about a case study called as M. Taylor in the US. They adopted AI to measure you using the phone, phone cameras or the laptop cameras. And what typically happened is they couldn't measure, because even today there is no AI tool which can measure you with that kind of accuracy which a master who is coming home can do, right? Because the master will tell you 32 inches or 2 सूत. अभी वो 2 सूत AI को क्या समझेगा? But वो जो cut कर रहा है उसको मालूम. So there are certain things that the AI can do, and there are certain things that the AI cannot do. So to your question, was it a compulsion? The answer is no. I mean, it's your own intelligence that you will have to put in and then decide whether the AI makes sense for you. And it, by the way, makes a huge sense when it comes to evaluating a technical product, right? Because there is so much data which the AI will use to evaluate and throw options at you. That in some cases like made to measure tailoring that we do is not available because there are not so many people who are there in made to measure tailoring. I mean, not successful people at least. By the way, I have one question for all of you, and whoever answers this right gets a gift from Swapnil, not me. How many IT professionals are there in India? Any guess? Say louder, louder, guys. I know it's the last session, but I won't, keep you long.
How many IT
Don't
professionals?
Google. Who's Googling? Somebody's Googling there. You won't get the prize. Okay, 5.4 million IT professionals in India. Okay, how many tailors in India? Any guess? There are 12 million tailors in India. How many? So which is the bigger market?
That's a great number.
Yeah. So, and everybody is going after IT. Nobody wants to organize the tailoring because it's very grassroots level. It's very rudimentary. It's very, close to the ground kind of a thing. There's a lot of hard work involved. So people don't want to do it. Simple.
So it was a nice experience that you have shared. But I wanted to ask one more question about this, your first experience with AI. So when you were hands-on experimenting with AI, so did it challenge your creative identity as a marketer? Or if not in your case, if a marketer, अगर वो पहली बार AI use कर रहा है, so क्या उसको ऐसा लगेगा कि यार सब कुछ तो ये कर रहा है, मेरा क्या काम है? So what about this?
What is the role of a marketer, guys? Anybody? What is the role of a marketer? Sorry, there's somebody saying something. Say louder, louder. Don't be shy. Come on. The green shirt. You were saying something. Okay. So technically you're saying that helping the sales guys to do more sales, right? Which is the best ad that you can remember on a television? कौन सा ad तुमको ad बोला तो कौन सा याद आता है? हैं? Louder, louder, guy. Fog. What else?
चल रहा है? Fog चल रहा है.
Any older generation like me? Favicol, very good. What else? Sorry?
LIC.
LIC, fantastic. What else? Come on. Give me at least two more. Amul, fantastic. The taste of India. What else? Cadbury, anybody? Dairy milk? क्या बात है जिंदगी में? हाँ? Now give me an AI created ad. Any AI created ad that you can read? Sorry?
So, Misho had AI campaign?
So no, I'm not talking about a campaign here. Some content that was generated by AI. So none of these creative ads were possible using the AI element for a very simple reason that there is something called as an emotion that they touch. And for AI to get to that level where it can touch emotions, it will still have some time. I'm not saying it will never happen, but I'm saying that at this stage or for the next 5 years or so, it will be very difficult for AI to come up with ads like कुछ खास है जिंदगी में या दूध 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 या रोज खाओ अंडे, because these are some of the things which are very personal to each one of us. Let me give you one more example. In Saudi Arabia or one of the Gulf countries, which where Urdu is read from left to right, they one of the drink companies launched an ad, and where you see a person very tired walking in the desert, falls down, and then he drinks the Coke or a Pepsi and he gets up, right? But in Saudi Arabia, it didn't work because the AI didn't tell them that boss ये चलेगा नहीं इधर, क्योंकि उसने उल्टा पड़ा ना.
Right.
पहले खड़ा था, आदमी कोक पिया और गिर गया. So there will be things which the AI will be able to relate to based on the data which is there, and there will be things where it will still evolve over a period of time.
Right. So you mean to say that there is some context that only human beings know, and AI is just going to process the data and give the output.
So we use AI extensively, but we use it to speed fast that route to market. You know what is, anyway, all our marketing students and MBA students and BBA students, what is the route to market? Anybody with route to market? Come on, guys. You're second year, right? First year, okay. Then I pardon you. But what is route to market? Anyone? So B2B, B2C, you guys have heard of this terminology, right? These are route to markets. B2B stroke C, etc. These are route to market. So when you're choosing a route to market, AI allows you to speed it a little faster. Suppose your plan says that you're going to take 6 weeks to capture a particular market, and you're going to get a 2% market share. With the help of AI and some of the other tools that are available, you can actually speed fast that. So you can save some money doing that. So it's a great execution tool. So we cannot discount AI. Please don't get me wrong. We cannot discount AI in any which ways. But the human intelligence, the human. Okay, by the way, one more question. I'm going to ask you guys a lot of questions. Anybody is following the recent hires which are happening? What is the most expensive hire to happen in the world? Most expensive hire. Again, Google nahi karega koi. What is the most expensive hire to happen in the world? Hire मतलब समझते हो ना आप? हाँ, नौकरी किस मिला जिसको? हाँ. What is the expensive hire? Yeah. So there's this guy called as Roaming Pang, who was an AI guy in Apple, who has been now hired by Meta for 1,800 crore salary. Kitna?
1,800.
That's his salary. Okay, it's not a turnover of a company, it's his salary. What does it tell you? Why was he hired? Because he is the one who is building AI. So value kiska hai?
The one who is building.
The one who is building will always be more valuable than what you are building.
So my next question will be going deeper into the human creativity and AI. So before going into that direction, how would you personally define human creativity in marketing? And what does AI actually bring to the table?
This I think I already answered. AI brings speed to execution to the table, which is a very, very big thing. So again, when you are into digital marketing and those kind of things, right? Earlier क्या होता था कि हम 2 post या 3 post करके भूल जाते थे. Now you manage the entire flow of the post for the next 15 days because the AI can churn out those many more things. But you will say that competitor can also do it, right? अगर मैं कर रहा हूँ तो कोई और भी करेगा. It is the intelligence of the marketing manager who is involved in that campaign to make sure that it works for the best benefit of it. So to answer your question, what will it bring? It will bring speed to execution, which is a great thing. So a lot of startups can become successful much faster.
Okay, so you are saying that only thing that is AI adding is productivity and speed. But I would like to go deeper in this aspect. So do you believe that AI can be creative in marketing at par with humans, or you don't believe this?
No, I believe it, but it will take time, is in my view, because see, the circumstances is something that you don't control. Neither can AI control. So if I have targeted, let's say, only to market in PMC and only to market a specific product, right? That product might just not sell because of the circumstances which are available, which means that वो data available ही नहीं होगा. अगर data available नहीं है, तो आप इसको कैसे use करोगे? You can't use it, right? Let me give you a classic example. Who is the number one mobile provider today? I mean, mobile handset seller. Huh? Louder, guys. Xiaomi. Okay, somebody is saying not Apple. Not Apple. Sure. I am talking about the world. I don't talk about India. I never restrict myself to India because we as Indians should talk about the world as a market, not India as a market. In the world, who is the number one mobile seller? Apple, right? Okay, so tomorrow if I'm selling this, let's say Apple in PCMC area, and I want to throw Apple to number 2 using AI, is it possible? Is it possible? I'm only talking about PCMC now. So I've come from the world to PCMC. What has to be done to do that? It is very much possible, by the way. There are companies who have got 800, 900 people who are sitting in India, in Sweden, in Finland, and so many places, which will keep putting prompts which prove otherwise. So if they will keep a prompt saying that in PCMC area, Lava is the number one provider of handset. And they will bombard your system with that data. Bombard for the next 6 months, 1 year. After 1 year or 6 months, when you ask PCMC में number one handset कौन सा है, वो बोलेगा लावा. जबकि actually Apple होगा. So this is how systems can be manipulated but the market can't be manipulated. Market is still held by that guy, right? It is still held by Apple. But because you have created those prompts and have created that whole engine or mechanism behind it, it will give you that wrong answer.
That means that you are mean to say that the data that you will feed to AI, the same kind of output will be generated. But I want to ask you in a different manner, frame my question very differently. Can you really teach someone to be creative?
You're talking about human or AI?
Humans.
Okay, now again, I love asking questions. Are two human beings the same? But there are 7 lookalikes, right? It's a proven fact in right from our Ved Shastra till today. If science says that there are 7 lookalikes in the world, then how come we are not same? Are we same or no? Okay, we are not same. That is your answer. So creativity will differ from person to person. It cannot be the same. It can be taught based on the basic skill that the person already has. It's imbibed in that person. It can be sharpened like a painter, right? I mean, you paint, and then you get good guidance from somebody, you become that much more effective painter. But if you say that, okay, can it be replicated जैसे machine में होता है वैसे, then it's not possible.
So likewise, in human beings, someone is more creative or someone is less creative. It is a kind of degree. Let me ask you next question. Talking about D2C marketing, where exactly has AI transformed your marketing practice at Brunch Bites and Taylor Smart?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, what all I do, so there is a food company also that I run in Goa, and I run an AI company in PICT in Pune and Bits Pilani, Goa. So there are two AI labs that we run. So we work very closely with AI. For D2C brands, it's a big yes, because as I told you, it can give us great reach based on what is the kind of content we create, what is the kind of so for example, Brunch Bites, which you asked about, we promote fresh food. So if you order from Swiggy and Zomato, you don't know when the food was cooked, right? But if you order from My Kitchens, you can be 100% sure that it is cooked now and delivered, because in our kitchens, we don't even keep deep freezers, right? So when we start putting those stories in and we are able to highlight those things, naturally, we right now do about 650 meals a day, a single day in a small section of Goa, which is North Goa. Some part of it is actually thanks to AI, because that helped us to communicate better, create content which resonates with people, and it did it much faster. Because if I had to do the same thing, let's say for one creative, I would have taken a week, but it gave it to me in a few seconds. So that's where it has helped us in generating more leads.
Okay, and about D2C, B2B sector?
B2B is different. B2B is completely different. I think B2B, we've not been able to use power of AI to that extent, apart from the fact that it helps us to just, sharpen the communication that we do. Like Gitanjali, my good friend, was earlier mentioning that none of the emails now go without a, check on the chat GPT. It's a similar kind of application. So I wouldn't say it's AI. Because B2B, the number of touch points that are there are very different. So we touch marketing, sustainability, and HR at the same time. But तीनों को communication same नहीं जा सकता है. It has to be different. So B2B, we've not been so successful, but D2C, yes.
Okay. So let's go deeper into the concepts of marketing. Pritham, as you have built two brands like Taylor Smart and Brunch Bites, so there is a concept like brand personality. So in your brand case, where did this personality come from? And could AI have gotten there without you or your team?
So in Taylor Smart, the answer is no. AI would have not, meaning we are not using AI even today to that extent. We have just started using AI to show how a particular fabric will look on you. So you go onto when the person comes, like somebody like an Anupama will come, you see the fabric, you choose, okay, this is the fabric that I'm going to, then you take a picture of that and you take your photo, and then we merge it together to say that, okay, kurta will look like this on you, or the suit will look like this on you. But that's it. I mean, we've not been able to frankly go beyond that per se. So the answer is no. But in case of D2C brands, a lot of D2C brands have definitely benefited out of it. I wouldn't say that, it's of no benefit, but not in our cases, for example, because I think, so we are the only company in made to measure clothing in India which serves the entire family. So there is competition like Bombay Shirt Company, Pant Project, Raymond's Made to Measure, etc. But they work in silos. They work in pockets. They work in one segment or two. We cater to everybody. So there is no apple to apple comparison to say that, boss, and there is no data. So if there were more companies, then there would have been data. There are 16 failures in Bangalore. There are 14 failures in Hyderabad alone. So if you Google up, you will find out. And they had their reasons to fail. So that's why there's no so much data which can help me to use more AI more effectively, at least in TaylorSmart.
So, as per you, that using AI in B2B is really different and difficult nowadays, but maybe in some future it will be possible.
There are tools, but it all depends on your application. For us, it is difficult because our touch points are different. But let's say if you have a single touch point, you are selling, let's say, a SaaS HRMS platform, then you can definitely use AI, because there your target is only the CHRO, right? And there it is easier to deploy. So you can use, there are a lot of AI marketing tools which you can use to target that segment. But in our case, it's not possible because the touch points are different.
Okay. So coming again to D2C sector, in marketing, there is a concept of context. Whenever we create an advertising campaign, context is there. Geographical realities are also considered. Cultural realities are also considered. And even human realities are also considered. So can ever AI truly understand the emotions like irony, grief, or joy in a specific cultural context?
I think after I've answered this, now the audience can answer. What do you guys think? Can you repeat your question a little louder?
Can AI truly understand human emotions like irony, grief, joy in a specific cultural context? Yes, so audience are really listening to this session, I think. So
Thank
that's
you,
why
guys.
they are
Thank you.
giving
Give
correct
yourself
answers.
a big round of applause for listening to us.
Heading further, hyper personalization at scale is the holy grail AI promises in the marketing. We are talking about hyper personalization. But I would argue that there is a paradox here. The more AI personalizes, the more the personalization can start feel algorithmic or fake. So do buyers notice this kind of uh, randomness or artificialness in personalization?
Yes, I think personalization, as the word says, is very, very personal, right? So for AI to do personalization for you, it means that a lot of data about you has to be there in the social media or in the cloud, right? About you. Let's say I want to personalize something for you, Swapnil. Data about you has to be there for me to. So some things may be easier, like clothing and food, because we all click food pictures and upload them. So that will be easier to personalize. But there'll be other things which are not so much on the social media, or the content is not in the cloud, which will be very, very difficult for us to, personalize something. So on personalization, the answer is a big no. Yeah, but with the caveat that maybe fashion and food can be. But customization, yes. Now, what is the difference between personalization and customization? Guys, anyone want to give it a shot? What is the difference between personalization and customization? Okay. So customization, I'm saying, is possible because it can be for a group of people. Let's say a lot of CIOs meeting are happening. So you find out what they like, what they dislike, etc. And you customize things as per the liking of most of the people in the room. So that is possible because this generic data is already available on the cloud or already available in on various platforms, right? But personalization, with a caveat that food and clothing may be possible, the rest of the things is not possible because certain data about you as an identity or as a human being may not be available on the cloud.
Okay, so till now we understood that AI improves our productivity, it improves our speed. But I would like to go one step further, and I would like to ask, if AI takes execution in future, if AI takes many things under control and it becomes very advanced, so what is the human marketer's one irreplaceable job that AI cannot replace?
What do you guys think? What can that be? It's creativity.
Yes.
Creativity is something that will always stay with us. AI, again, as I said, will be able to show creativity based on the data which is already available. But as we all agreed, and this audience, this August audience already said that each individual is different. So creativity will also evolve with the people experiences growing, with their talent growing and things like that. So because that train is ongoing and it will always be ahead of what the existing data can catch on, it is still going to remain a marketers. So as we were discussing right in the boardroom, we said that there are similar kind of situations, same market to target, same product to go after, same set of age group criteria. Let's say 18 to 45 male is what we are targeting, so on and so forth. And then there are two marketing manager of two different companies sitting and trying to design a campaign. Who wins? The guy who is most creative will naturally win,
Right.
even if you use the same set of tools.
So we are sitting in front of the future leaders of India. What kind of message you would like to give to these MBA students? What kind of skills they must develop?
You guys are not in job, but if you were in job, I would have said quit jobs and and stay hungry all the time. Stay as hungry as possible. That would be my this thing. One message. And the other message is, wherever I go, I have mostly seen people design products for Pune, PCMC, or maybe maximum for Maharashtra, or maximum for India. I think you guys should start thinking about designing products for the world. By the way, what is your understanding about the whole dynamics of this world? Why is Trump doing what he's doing? Guys, any thoughts on why is Trump doing what he's doing? And I'll bring back to my answer. But why is Trump doing what he's doing? Any thoughts? भाई अपने में बात करोगे तो किसी का फायदा नहीं होगा, खड़े होके जवाब दे दो. हाँ, yeah, that gentleman. We'll just take last 5 minutes, don't worry.
I'm not sure about the answer, but it could be due to maybe epistine files, or maybe the debt that is America is facing.
Any other thoughts? Why is Trump doing? There, one. Mike there, please.
To keep his power and the power of dollar on the whole country, so the whole world.
Great. Power of dollar. Okay, we'll come to that. What else? Here. This gentleman in red tie. Here. Dominance, okay, dominance.
And so he knows his dates are increasing day by day. So to recover that, I guess. And we have seen in the past that America's target the country with oil. So that can be one reason.
Okay, what else? Fantastic. Good answers. Thank you so much. Anything else? Any thoughts? अगर टोटल नेटवर्क सारे कंट्रीज का मिला के अगर हम जीडीपी देखने जाएं तो अगर कितना होगा? समझो 100 रुपया है, 100 रुपीज अगर है तो 70 रुपया ट्रम्प कंट्रोल करता है, बाकी सारे कंट्रीज मिलके 30% कंट्रोल करते हैं. और ये बात उसको मालूम है, right? And why is he doing that? Because all the innovations, how many trillion-dollar companies India has? Trillion-dollar companies, market cap 3 to 4 होंगे ना, उसके पास 500 है. तो क्यों? Why will he care, right? He doesn't care. So the whole nuance is that you have to think about building things which are at scale, which can be replicated globally. अब तुम बोलोगे मुझे क्यों बोल रहे हो ये सब किसी और ने करना चाहिए, but नहीं, it has to start with you guys trying to think about scale in this room. Only then can you execute it, otherwise you can't. It's as simple as that. So I hope I answered.
Yes, sir, definitely. So coming at the end of this discussion, let me sum up whatever we discussed till now. So three things are very clear in this entire discussion, that AI is going to be there. AI is becoming more and more powerful, and AI will give us productivity and speed. But one thing we need to keep in mind, that AI is to assist us. So we are the hero of the entire game, and AI is just our assistant, which will help things us easy, make things easy. And whatever the progress India has done in last 30 years, so it is possible with the help of AI that we can achieve that growth in next 3 years. So I think all of you are very fortunate to be in this era. You are in the first year of MBA, and you are very fortunate that you are getting the leverage AI has created for all of you. So as Mr. Preetham pointed out, that think with a world view, think about greater challenges that world is facing today, and build something great and interesting. So on this note, winding up, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Swapnil and Preetham. So thank you so much for the wonderful. I expected it to be a debate, but it happened to be a Q&A, but then you debated for your own self, I think. So what is the conclusion? Where do you want to end? So is it artificial intelligence, or I know, so it's creativity which is going to win. Anyway, so can I request Vida ma'am to be on the stage, and can we give them a final round of applause, guys? I know that we are at 605, 6.05. Felicitation. Swapnil, thanks for moderating 2 sessions. Preetham for asking wonderful questions. Thank you so much. All three of you together. Vidya ma'am, you can be together. Be together. One group picture. Thank you so much. We'll wait for just couple of minutes for the delegate to leave the Audi. Sir, your mementos will reach. You can. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Guys, there's I don't know where is it, why there is a debate, why there is a fight. Yeah. Can we close the door? If you don't mind. So this brings end to the day one, and guys, I think I don't know how many of you are going to be there tomorrow. We know the schedules. I think we need to give them a big round of applause to those guys who volunteered, faculties, students, work day in and day out. I think none of them are here for me to call them out, stand here, give them a round of applause. Abhishek, can you come forward? Come forward. I think one person whom I can The another person is on the other side. So quick word to the audience. Say a quick word.
Quick word to the audience. Audience, I would say you were fantastic. आपने पूरा दिन सफर किया, अच्छा वाला सफर था ये और इंग्लिश वाला it's up to you. ठीक है? And very much thank you to all.
You will get a link for feedback. Give your candid feedback. Apologies from our side for delaying it till 6 o'clock. Sincere apologies. Okay. Thank you very much. All the very best. Thank you very much. Good night to you guys. Attendance will be taken. You will get your ID card. Make a move. They'll get it. Guys, collect your ID card before you leave.
Guys, please wait for 2 minutes. Distribute your ID cards. Guys on the doors.